You get the idea. Okay, now the second thing that I was going to show you guys, and this is something that I thought would probably work, but I don't have the right thing to do it, and that is, and you're going to have to kind of use your imagination. This was a coat hanger that broke and that kind of stuff. My idea is that you use a wire coat hanger because it will not break on you like this plastic one did. Not to mention, I think this was glued back together, so I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, what you can do is if you untwist the wire coat hanger at the top, you would have the hook still, untwist it, and then feed this down, okay, so that they start attaching here. And then my thought was, let go. They're all twisted in each other, okay? Is that you could then slide these on here, like so. There we go. Okay, so you would slide those around, and then once this all gets on here, as far as like going all the way across, and I've got different ones of different thicknesses, and I'd probably pay a little bit closer attention to which colors I was using. Okay, and so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here is you start getting this kind of shower curtain effect. Once you get these all on here, and you could even go, and I can't do it because the corner has this little support here. I can't do it there. But I would imagine you could go all the way up around the whole thing. And if you could line an entire coat hanger, that would be pretty interesting to give you a little bit more dynamicism. Dynamicness. Yes, I saw that fall off. That's okay. Okay, but you can kind of get an idea. Now it's more straight and flat, okay, versus something else, like the round one that we had with the other. So that's using a coat hanger. Again, I would use a wire coat hanger if it were me, just because it's a little bit easier to take apart and that kind of stuff, okay? Now, going along with that wire coat hanger idea, okay, or if you have some heavy wire, that would work also, okay? And this is going to require a little bit of some ingenuity here. And depending on the number of bottles you have is going to be determined by the number or how big your wire is, okay? So again, imagine this is a wire coat hanger, okay? I take it apart and I have just this bottom portion. I'm then gonna bend it, which would probably take a little bit of effort, so that I make it into a circle, all right? Then here comes the tricky part. I'm gonna come up and show you guys this nice and close, is the wire at the ends, I'm gonna make a hook that goes one way, and I'm just gonna use scissors here because I don't know what happened to my pliers. Hopefully I can use these. Nope, I can't. Okay, so maybe I can just bend it on the table. I'm just gonna push this down just so it gets a little tighter bend on it, because that way it'll hold it together. All right, so the first end you'll see here, okay? I've bent that so that it hooks upward, okay? The next one, okay, the opposite end, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend it so that it curls around flat, okay? So do you see the difference there? All right, this one bends upward, this one bends around that way. So that way what I can do is I can then eventually hook it together and that will hold it in place. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully you guys can see that like that. Okay, so this hooks up so that it'll lock onto that. Okay, and you could even put it this way if you wanted to. Pliers, you could crimp that down once you get it all assembled, but now you have a wire loop like this. All right, and I'm gonna go back with the ones that I have my string already tied onto. Okay, so I've got my loop tied onto my string there. I'm gonna undo my little hook that I have there. Now what I can do is I could either slide this on through the opening at of the bottle and then attach them just like we did with the coat hanger thing, or if you want, you could just slide it into that piece of twine, okay, that we had before. Yeah, everything's all messed up. That's okay. We're just kind of playing with this and kind of seeing how this is going to go. You know, blue one. Now, the thing I like about this, okay, and this is all going to be determined by whatever your taste is, whatever you want to do, okay, is that I can fit quite a few of these on here, okay, and what I can do now is I can make them into a circular design. If I can get these to hold in place, okay, so there's my loop, okay, but now what I've got is I've got this now in this kind of circle pattern, and it's going to give me a little bit more, you know, of a cylindrical kind of a style, okay, so that's something to consider. Now, obviously, the loop here of wire is going to help determine, it's going to be determined by the number of bottles, so if you have, you know, 25 or 30 bottles, a nice big loop like this would probably be okay. If you've only got a dozen, maybe you make it a little bit smaller, like my other one here, okay, so that it's not quite as large, okay, and you could make it a little bit smaller, okay. Just kind of depends on where you're at with those. Okay, I'm gonna keep putting these together, and then once I get mine together, I will show you guys how I did mine.